friends, Goddess of Awesome here, and I wanted to make a video today about Los Angeles and how fucked it is to work here. You know, I feel sorry for the girls who've never traveled, the ones who've never spread their wings and fluttered to other lands, new territories, different markets. You know, if you work in LA in the adult industry, and as far as like a person who sees people, like a massage therapist or, you know, the full service girls, anybody who sees persons on a one-on-one, I know they have the same grievances as I do. They have to, because LA sucks ass when it comes to our industry. We have the most game playing bastards here in this town. I don't know what to say. There's a lot of good guys. That's my one little disclaimer. There's tons of good people in this town. There really are. The problem is you have to weed through so many bullshit callers to find the one good one, you know? And I'm sure other girls will, or boys will relate to this when I say it wears you down, you know? Like sometimes you think, you know, sometimes by the time you get a good caller, you've gone through all these time wasters that your wick becomes little, you know, and your patience isn't as much. And sadly, the kind person who doesn't deserve to get a snotty voice or an indifferent kind of treatment, they didn't deserve that. But because we've been dealing with all these time wasters the whole day up until that nice person calls, that's where professionalism comes in. You just gotta bite all your frustrations and be as kind as you can to the good soul who just called and who's gonna show up and be kind and respectful, and amen to that. But to get to that, so much weeding. So that is why I believe wise girls in Los Angeles travel. You know, we travel to different states, different cities. Why? Because people are different outside of LA. Now, if you're born and raised in LA, you don't really know that. You know, you were used to what you're around. So you think that this hustle, bustle, extra busy, no time to be nice environment is what the world is like. But the world is not like that everywhere. It certainly is not. There are some areas of this country where people are so kind and good and respectful. The human decency of mutual respect is significantly high. Those are the areas I like to go to. I like to go where people are kind, where if they can't make an appointment, they text me and tell me, hey, I can't make it. Or they call and they say, hey, I can't make it. Here in LA, you'll get people, give me your address, I'll be there, blah, blah, blah. Nothing, okay? Now, with these guys, I can pretty much tell in a text message exactly where it's gonna go, because they're stupid. You know, as much as each of these individuals are different people and none of them know each other, the irony is this: they all use similar language. They use similar words, and their communication styles are similar. Isn't that odd? Isn't that odd? So there's a collective consciousness in Los Angeles of this group of time wasters, and that's all they do. It's fun. Oh my God, there's certain ones you can just hear them on the phone. Click. I don't even have time to explain anything. I already hear it. You can hear the ones who are jacking off in the background too. You can hear it. There's no, they don't want to book a session. See, here's the difference. A person who's booking a session with you is gonna say, hi, I'm calling about the massage. Hi, I'd like to book a massage. Or hi, I seen your ad. Something like that. You know, then they'll proceed to book a time and, you know, commit. The time wasters are, hello. So is this are you the masseuse? Did you have a good holiday? Do you see where this is going already? There's nothing in there about wanting to do a session or have any intention on coming and doing a session. He wants to talk with me. Are you the masseuse? Did you have a good holiday? So what are you wearing? That's probably going to be his next question. Why? Because he was whacking off in the freaking, with his other hand, you know? Click, right? It takes a seasoned ear to hear those, you know? But the more you hear it, the more you realize, oh yeah, that person's not ever going to show up. Here's one. HY. What is that? Is that the abbreviation for hey you? Yeah, you come at me with a hey you, hey baby, hey sweetie, any of those, click. I'm just gonna block your number right away because real, true people don't usually use those terms. The ones who are whacking off in the background or just playing a game to see who answers the phone that day, they're the ones, hey sweetie, hey baby. Ugh, really? Click. The only time a person ever gets to address me as baby is in the deep south where they use that as normal terminology, and guys say it to guys and girls say it to girls, and it doesn't mean the same thing as it does in LA. Hey baby in LA is slime. Slimy guys do that. That's like a cat call from across the street, you know, something you don't want to hear from somebody. That's hey baby. Ugh, hey baby. So here's this one. Hey, so it's HY. Come in today. I tell him something, doesn't get back to me. Handfuls of days later, says the exact same thing. And then he gives me a time. He can come in at 5. I tell him call to schedule. He tells me text the address. I don't text my address to people who don't call to schedule. I need to hear your voice. I need to have that last moment to hold precious. So if I hear a voice that sounds distasteful or slimy or shady or iffy or sketchy or downright ugh, I'm all booked up for the day. I'm booked. I'm so sorry. I'm booked. I'm booked for today. Don't ever tell a slimy potential client that you heard slime in his voice or that he sounds like a thug or any of the above. Don't ever educate your bad people callers, right? Your bad callers. You don't need to educate them. The only thing that will do is piss them off, and then they're gonna harass you for not wanting to see them because you called them a thug. Because I've done that once and that was bullshit. I shouldn't have done it, you know? He did sound like one. I just called it like I seen it. I didn't need to tell him that. You know, there's some things, less is more. Less is always gonna be more. So with these guys, you don't need to say nothing to them. Just hang up, you know? If you missed a serious person, then oh well, you know, better to be safe than sorry. And at the same time, if they are genuinely serious, maybe they'll email you. Maybe they'll call back. Maybe they'll text you. The game players, once you kind of shut them down, they kind of go away. Excuse me. So yeah, this MF, he actually called to schedule, which I could hear it in his voice. I could hear he was on the fence, you know, and I thought, well, whatever, you know, roll the dice. I'm gonna take a chance and see if this person shows up. Completely doesn't show up, but right before he does, let's see, he's booked for, what time is this? Okay, he's booked for 5 o'clock. I text him the address 20 minutes almost before 5. Right on the dot of 5 o'clock, right? When he's supposed to be here, I get a text message that says, something came up, won't be able to make it. Okay, that's what I'm talking about when I say there's a collective consciousness in LA of time wasters. There is a group of them, and they're usually young. You can hear it when they actually call. They're usually young. And, you know, they book an appointment. You can tell they're on the fence, and those are the bastards who will call you 5 minutes, 3 minutes, or right on the hour, right on the dot of when they're supposed to be there. I can't come. Something came up. I just got called into work. I can't come in. It's always going to be something like that. Now, to his credit, he actually sent me a text and said, can't come, can't make it, something came up. The truth is he never had any intention on showing up to begin with, you know, but at least he did call and let me, you know, he texted and let me know. That's nice, and that means I can get on with my day and do things that I need to do, you know. That's the pisser, you know, when you tell a real client no because you save time for the time waster and then the time waster doesn't show up, it makes you mad, you know. So there's some girls out there, and I have to tip my hat to them. You know, if I thought about staying in this industry much longer, I'd have to do exactly the same thing. They require a deposit to get on their calendar. If you want on their books, they're going to have a non-refundable, non-transferable deposit to hold your place on their schedule. If you have to reschedule, if you have to cancel, that goes away. That you don't get to use that again. You have to then recommit with a new deposit to save time on their schedule. I think it's brilliant, you know. If all the sex workers in all the communities who did massage and more than massage and maybe just whatever they do, if they all had a system like that, that'd be badass, you know, because then you'd have a lot less time wasters. You probably would have your therapist in a much better spirit because she's not had her chain jerked all day by slime balls and time wasters and people who want to no-show and basically all that sort of thing. So LA, Los Angeles, California sucks when it comes to finding quality people. Like I said, they're there. They absolutely are there. So please don't say I'm not saying there's nobody good in LA. We have great people in LA. I have wonderful clients in LA. But to find them, the process is rigorous and you have to weed through so many bullshit callers. Oh my God, you know? So yeah, there's one. Let's see. Any more time wasters? I have a few in here, so. Nope, I think, yeah, the guy jacking off. I told you about that. Yeah, that's interesting. You know, you the masseuse. Did you have a good holiday? Ugh, click. Yeah, the right thing to say to anybody. Hi, I'm calling about your ad. There you go. That's the right thing to say. Hi, I'm calling for an appointment. There you go. That's the right thing to say. Hi, I'm interested in your massage and I'd really like to know more. There you go. That's the right thing to say. What else? Yeah, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, you should only be calling a massage therapist for massage, not escort services. And if you are an escort, please don't be advertising in the massage section. Get your section right. Go where you there's a section for that. It's called the escort section. And then there's a section for where I am, the massage section. That's the other thing that pisses me off. See, then you get these boys confused, you know, because you're saying massage, some girls are saying massage, and they mean everything. And I think they do that because they think it's like a cloak, right? It's gonna keep them safe. Like, oh, I do massage, you know. Legal stuff won't come to me. I'm cloaking myself under the word of massage. Oh, but you come here and then you get everything. You know, few people will be happy for that. And a handful of people will be let down. You know, the guys who really want a massage, they want a massage. You know what I mean? If they wanted full service, they would go for the escort, you know, and not that you can't be both, you know, you can, but get your sections right, you know. If you're in both sections, then obviously maybe you offer both things, you know, like I'm in the massage section. There's one site has me on the tantra section. That kind of fits a little bit, but those tantra people are also time wasters. So tell me about your session, exactly what happened. Anyone who ever asks you to tell them exactly what happens in your session, hang up on them. They don't need to know. They're smart enough to know what section they found you in, what you're wearing in your photographs for your ad. We don't need to go into a interview process. What exactly do you offer? That to me screams cop. You know what I mean? So, or stupidity, one or the other, hang up on them. You know, you don't need to be dealing with stupid people and you don't need to be dealing with that other either. You know, if you're trying to, you know, you're a good person. I'm sure you are. You know, people think sex workers, oh, the slum or the, you know, the sludge of the world. No, no, no. Like, we are some amazing people, and you wouldn't even know. You wouldn't even know if you see us in the gym or you see us in the market. You wouldn't know. Because lots of us are not wearing it on our sleeves. You know, there was a time I did have an acquaintance who was an escort, and she took me on my first big trip to New York. Actually, she didn't really take me. She invited me. I paid my own way. We stayed in separate hotels. She did her thing. I did mine. But the bottom line was this. That chick, oh man, did she have, she was buttoned and snapped from the top all the way down. You know what I mean? Like, she looked so conservative, and because she was deeply afraid that if somebody looked at her, they could just tell she's a hooker. So what she did was she went, oh, you know, she looked like a secretary, but like the most prim and proper, you know, like a church librarian or something like that, you know? So, and here I am a little more, you know, maybe I look like I came from San Francisco or something, you know, definitely a more earth, you know, earth hippie vibe, whatever. Maybe I'm showing a little cleavage or skin. I don't know. It doesn't matter to me. I don't offer full service, so I can have cleavage hanging out there without me having a complex, you know? Like these days, I don't really want my cleavage out there. You know, I mean, if it's a nice dress, sure. You know, definitely in my teens and 20s, you know, is what you're feeling. So getting back to LA, yeah. LA has a lot of time wasters, and that's why I believe the wise girls get up and go travel. We find new markets, we visit places, and you keep that interest there by not being so available. See, that's the other pitfall. And that's true for any town you are in. I don't think that's just exclusive to LA, but if you are in the adult industry and you are offering in-person meetings, whatever your service is, there's going to be a time where people get tired of that flavor, right? They know where you are. The pool is only so big, right? The pool of these hobbyists is only so big. There's only so many of them. It's not like every guy in the world is doing this. I'm sure most of them think about it, but the ones who actually execute and pull the trigger to do something and meet somebody, those guys are, the pool is small, you know? So after the pool of fish has seen you and they know where you are, your business definitely will dwindle because you're not the new entree, you know? So the best way to keep it flavorful is to not sit in one place for too long. Don't always be available when you're in your own town, you know? I've thought about putting this town on a certain day. Like, I'm only available this day. Like, one day a week, you know? And see if I could funnel them, corral them into one day. Sitting around all day long, waiting for one appointment from the morning all the way to the night, dealing with all the stupid idiots who call in and then trying to keep your composure and then try to be nice when that one person comes in. Dude, that's too much work for me. That's stressful, you know? Like, I'd rather be in a town where I'm rare, right? I'm not there a lot. So when I do show up, people are like, oh my God, she's here, you know? And then when I'm busy, I'm booked all morning. I have a great morning, I have a great afternoon, and I didn't even know the day happened because it went so fast, you know? Like, yeah. That's my preference. You know, I can't wait around 4 hours or 5 or 6 in between calls. I'm going to take a nap. I'm going to fall asleep. I'm going to get busy doing something else. I'm going to lose interest, you know? So that's why I travel. That's why I've traveled for a while. So this is 2020. I'm trying to think. It's been a strong decade of pure travel. Though I started traveling, I want to say in 2004. I think that was the first year I went around. I started with my own state, did a few of the good towns in my state, and then, you know, you kind of, then you branch out. Because it's unknown, isn't it? When you go to a new world, when you go to a new state, when you go to a new city, you don't know anybody. That's the unknown. That's kind of scary. A lot of people probably wouldn't do that, you know? Once you do it a few times, you get used to it and you realize everywhere's home and everywhere is good. And I have found just beautiful areas of the nation where I personally resonate with so much that when I get there, I'm like, I'm I'm home again, it feels like, you know, or I'll go to a restaurant and they'll say, good to see you again, you know, and I'm maybe on the East Coast or maybe in Central Time Zone or maybe somewhere that I don't even live in that town, and they're telling me, good to see you again. That feels nice. It makes me feel like a resident of the nation, right? Makes the world feel so much smaller. And so, yeah, if you're a working girl or boy and you're watching this and you want to up your game in your gig that you're in right now, definitely explore. The best way to do would be emails. Get your email list going. I have one acquaintance in Atlanta. I'd never met her in person, but when she gets on the phone with me, let me tell you, her voice sounds like silk. She's got the silkiest, most beautiful voice, and I just know she's gorgeous. If you look at her photograph, she's astonishing, you know, but you put the pictures, the voice, the whole, she's got it going on, you know. And it's funny because she'll, every now and then, she'll check in with me, you know, because she travels too, and she'll pick my brain. How was this city? Was that city okay? And I think maybe I probably go a few more places, and that's why, you know, but yeah, so she had made a comment to me when I told her how messed up it is working in LA, you know. And she's like, oh man, is that why there's so many girls out of LA who travel? She pays attention a little bit. I don't check out any of my competition. I don't care. I'm too busy, you know. I don't care who's out there doing what. I know what I'm doing, and that's what it is, you know. So can't be too concerned about other people. But yeah, so she's my silky friend from Atlanta, you know. Even she gets up and travels, you know, and you kind of have to. You're going to have to if you're going to be in this gig for a minute, you know. And I think any of us say we're going to be here just for a minute, and like my Atlanta friend, you know, she's like, I'm just going to give it another 6 months and I'm going to try something else. No, it gets back to the last video. It's like there's so many of us who have found this work, and happily so, right? This work is a blessing. We have been able to eat good food, like organic food, and not living out of cans, you know. We can afford to do just, you know, fill your gas tank without stressing, you know, like there's a lot of goodness that this industry brings to people. So when you find it, it's like it's the best supplemental income you could ever come across, right? But that, it wears off after a while, and you realize you want to do something else, you know, or you need to do something else, or something else, you know. And that's the tough part. We get, in this world, we get accustomed to the lifestyle as far as the freedom. So I think about that. I think for me, what keeps me here and what's kept me here, other than the money, is the freedom. I don't answer to anybody. I don't ask if I can take time off. I don't have to get nervous and anxious and hold my breath and almost get sick to ask my boss if I could have this certain weekend off because my family's doing something. Like, I don't have those stresses, you know. There's no one with me underneath their thumb, and that's probably the best feeling ever, and that's probably one of the main reasons why I have found myself in this gig for so long. So new freedoms, you know. So that's what working in LA is, a pain in the ass. That's why I'm going to share that. And you know, if you're in the industry, you know, you're in, and hopefully you'll find your way out, you know. For me, I think it's horses, and it's also this, you know, as being an online person. I think that's really what it is, you know. And you could do this too, you know. I'm sure you have a wonderful story, you know, or a horrible. We all have detrimental things that happened to us in our lives, and then what do we do with that, right? Do we overcome it, or do we let it squish us, you know? So I think most of us are overcomers, right? We're achievers. We're people who are willing to take risks to elevate ourselves, you know? So for any sex worker out there who's watching this, you know, I tip my hat to you. I hugs and much love and light to you, and I hope you are able to find your way out too, you know? Unless this is your preferred work, and that's okay, you know? If it's not, find something you really, really, really resonate with, and do everything in the world you can to get into that. Get into something else. because the more you get into something else, you'll leave this world behind. And maybe you just do it part-time, or maybe you do it less than part-time to fill in the blanks, and then it goes away. You know, I don't know. For some people, it will never go away. You know, it's just where they're supposed to be. I'd like to say in the future that maybe all the young people coming up now will never find this industry. I'd like to say that. I'd like to believe that could be true. You know, when you think about the technologies, the platforms we have, the YouTube, the Etsy, did I say it right? Etsy, you can make things and sell it online. That stuff didn't exist 24 years ago, or however long it's been. It wasn't around, you know? So had it been, maybe I would have gone down a different path. Even though all those things are in place now, and from the bottom of my belly, I know there's always going to be people coming into the field of sex work. It's inevitable, you know? And so for those people, this channel is here for you. You know, for those people who you find this is just fascinatingly interesting, you could never do it, but isn't it interesting to hear about? Then this entertainment value of this channel is here for you. But there's also there's a lot of practical stuff that if you hear some of the videos, you'll probably get a few tidbits of a better way of dealing with business in this realm, you know? So that's all. I just wanted to talk about LA and how much it sucks. And there's a lot of weeds in this town. There's also a lot of beauty in this town. There's a lot of good people in this town, but that's the reason why I've decided to travel for over a decade is I can't tolerate LA clientele. And if I could just not ever see people in LA, that's what I would do. And for a handful of years, that is what I did. I would just go out for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks, and I'd come back and I'd be home for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks, and I wouldn't have any central massage to do at home because I kept them completely separate. So whatever that is for you, whatever works for you, you know? So anyways, and that's enough for now. I just wanted to share the LA experience, and that's all. So thanks for being here. Thanks to you so much for subscribing to this channel. Thank you for being my awesome friends. Much love and light to you. Be well.